Hello everyone, welcome to Chaudhary Data World. So today we are here with a very interesting topic that how to make any report dynamic. Actually report is not dynamic. The query into it under Power Query Editor, this becomes dynamic. So how to make this queries dynamic into Power BI or Power Query Editor, we will see in this video. So let's get started. So here we are having a very in first ribbon we are having a manage parameter option. It is here which is responsible to make our queries dynamic. So when we will click over it, we can see that there are three options displayed: manage parameter, edit parameter, and new parameter. So basically, as we should go by clicking over these three options. Before this, we should come here in view section, and in here you can see that parameters is there. So you need to check it allows, always allow all, so that whatever parameter you will create, it will be accessible from any of the UI. So when we will click on home again, so here right now we are not having any parameters created, so this edit parameter button is disabled. New parameter, manage parameter is enabled for us. For this video, for demonstration purpose, I have created a TVL demo in which there is employee ID, financial year, increment percentage, what the employees got, and the location of the employee, where they belongs to. So on this table, we will be experimenting by making this whole table, and by creating some new other tables, and this new other tables, like if suppose we are applying some filters over it, we will do it by making it dynamic, and what all other options are there we will explore on this table only. So let me first tell you that there are two type of parameters. Basically the two parameter includes, first one is as per the Microsoft documentation, step argument, and then another is the custom function argument. So step argument we will be dealing with first. So step argument is nothing but, suppose if you want to have, I will take an example to make you understand this thing. So you can see here that if suppose a variable we are declaring that is of minimum increment, this is the variable suppose we are declaring minimum increment, and we are declaring it as 8, and maximum increment of the employee, that will be 12. So if we want to perform three operations, and with respect to three operations, if we want to create three new tables. So how these three new tables will be created? These three new tables will be created on the basis of that TBL demo table right now we have seen. So based on that table only it will be created. So what will be applied under those tables? First table, it will be greater than minimum increment. So, and second will be smaller than maximum increment, between minimum and maximum increment. So these three will be applied. So here what we have written, greater than minimum increment, we have written variable instead of value. Instead of value is 8. Here the value is, here the value will be 12. Here minimum value, it will be 8 again, and this will be 12 again. So if we would write values, we had to write 8 12 8 and 8 12, means two times each values we need to write. And suppose some ad hoc request come, or some request come from some business team, that this minimum increment not changed to 9, and this maximum increment not changed to 13. You need to change at all these places if you are not having any dynamic variable declared at the top. So you will come and then manually change it to 9. You will manually change it to 13, and you will manually change it to 9 again, and then 13 again. So get rid of all these activities that you have to change it manually. If you simply change it here only, 8 to 9 and 12 to 13 here only, all the things, if we have declared it in variable, that greater than minimum increment, smaller than maximum increment, and minimum increment and maximum increment. So you need to change at two places only, and the things will be done. Wherever you will use this particular variable into your whole Power Query editor window, all that those places, this minimum increment and maximum increment value will change to 9 and 13 respectively. So this is the beauty of making the things dynamic, and it is always the best practice to make the whatever query we are writing, it should be made dynamic. So let's jump to Power BI window, and let's take a demo that how we can do it. Yeah, so here we will click on manage parameter. We can click on new parameter, and first we will declare its name. So first one is min parameter. Fine. And for description, we will write this is minimum parameter. It is always a best practice to write description against the variable name, so that in future, if suppose somebody else is coming and then make it change, it start changing, so it should be visible to them that what this particular parameter does. This is minimum value of increment. So here we will change it to min increment. Then type, you can keep it by your own. If you want to make it let it be, these are data type we can choose on our use case. So right now, if we are using decimal number, we can choose it decimal. Suggested values. So suggested values, if we want to, so there are multiple options. So if we want to take a use case of that, suppose we want to take 2 to 3 values, we will come in later of this video that how we can use all this list of values and then query and all the things. So if we are choosing any value, and current value is, suppose we are writing it down as 8, so it will be created. This particular one will be created. You can see here that current value, it is over here, it is 8. Now again, in manage parameter, we will define another parameter, that is max increment. This is maximum value. This is required type. What is this required? This required is something that whenever this particular parameter is getting used in some particular query, without giving the value of this particular this parameter, it can't be that particular query can't be run. So this will be checked, and in our case right now, any value type will be decimal number again, and this will be 12, suppose. So okay, we can see that both the parameters are listed on here. Now we will go to TBL demo. We will apply, and we will create a new query on top of this table, that will be number filter greater than, suppose greater than. So here we can see that is greater than what we will be here. So it will be parameter. Parameter, what will be minimum increment. Fine. So like this, keep rows when increment percentage is greater than. So here, by applying this filter, whatever rows will be there, which is having at least of is greater than minimum increment. Yeah, so at least of 8 minimum increment percentage, then only it will be there into the new query which will be formed right now. So if we click on OK, we can see that this one have been changed to this. If we applied filter, it has been changed to that particular table in which all the values in increment percentage is um, above 8%. So if we want to change it again to a number filter, let me create different copy. uh, Let me duplicate it. So if we want to duplicate this particular one, we will definitely be choosing uh, duplicate, add column. We will right click and then include duplicate. Yeah, so we will duplicate this one and we will the tba demo 2. Fine, we'll apply the parameters greater than is greater than, and then we will choose here the parameter minimum increment, then okay. You can see here, this is again, we will click on duplicate so that we can create a new query against it. We'll see the beauty that how it is going to be that making it dynamic helps us. Now less than if parameters it is here, and then maximum increment. Okay, so here you can see that below 12 whatever percentage increment percentage it is here, it is listed on now. So again we will click here and then duplicate it. So here is this time we are going to apply a filter of less than, greater than or equal to between. Yeah, so here between is greater than or between. So between will be not applied here. It will be something like that, equals does not equals. So we want to take all the values greater than and greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, and then in between. So in between, suppose 8 9 10 11 12 it is coming, so we have to check it, take it in between, but here we can't take it as is greater or equal to. So is greater or than or equal to, we will take it as parameter here, and then minimum increment. So what it will take, uh, uh, the values right from 8. So it will be taken by this condition, is less than or equal to. Again we will take parameter and here maximum increment. So the values between 8 to 12, it will be taken into this whole condition. So you can see that it is right now here. So we are having three tables created based on this minimum increment and maximum increment parameter. So now suppose a request comes that if you want to change minimum increment to 9 and maximum increment to 13. So see the magic now. Yeah, so now this minimum increment is changed to 9 and maximum increment is changed to 13. No need to change all these into these three. It is automatically changed now. So first table is something which is having filter applied, that if the value is greater than 9, then only the rows will be existing here. So here we can see that 10 11 25 22, these many number of rows which is satisfying the condition. So this is only the beauty that only at two places you have changed the parameter value, and every rest of the places wherever this particular parameter is getting used, it is automatically changing. So this is very beautiful feature of our Power BI, that we can make the query dynamic by this example. Now we want to take a new use case, and in this manage parameter we were having another option that was of list of values. So how we will use it? So suppose we are creating a new parameter that is lst underscore, and then suppose we are having some new value as uh, list, then increments. In this we want to increments to be considered, suppose this is some use case. For example, if it came to you, then you will choose list of values, and in this 8, this 9, and then 10. So suppose you want to keep only those rows which contains 8, 9, 10, and then so on. If you want to add some more, you can add it here. And then default value, it will tell you to choose. So what is default value here now? There are two values here, default value and current value. So current value will be the actual value which will be applied onto the query, and default value what it is. So actually in Power Query Editor window, we are dealing with this filter condition only, where we are applying this parameter. But in this whole Power Query Editor window, there are multiple UI buttons in which you can apply UI functionalities, in which you can apply this parameter concept. So there, if you want to use parameter over there, if you will choose that particular parameter that will be named as LST increment, there this default value whatever we will choose, it will pop out, and the current value we can set it as per our need. So if we want to choose it 9, then it press OK. Now here it is created. Now let me again duplicate this one and then apply the concept over here, number filters, and then just a second. So here it must be somewhere. If we change it to number, right now it is into decimal. If we change it to suppose some into number, data type as decimal to pick whole number suppose, then it will give us the option. Number filter. So yeah, this is how I think this in is not now present. Otherwise it was present initially some time ago. It was present over here, in and not in, but this option is not now visible into it. So might be that Power BI having some update. But yeah, this is how this parameter works, and it is getting applied over the query. And there are multiple other options and multiple other options into this whole Power Query Editor window, under which this parameter can be applied. And if you create a parameter, you change it once, it changes in all the queries wherever it is getting used, that particular parameter. So this is very useful trick to make the report dynamic, and this is very useful, and it is on the best practice as well. So that was it for today. Thank you so much. In coming video, definitely we will see other options into this window, Power Query Editor window. We will move one by one. Stay tuned to the channel. In upcoming videos, I will be explaining all these buttons, whatever what it's working, how should we apply into our report generation phase. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching the video. uh, like, comment, and if you feel that channel giving you some informative video, do subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for watching the video.